Hello everyone, MBA CT day 1 is over. Slot 1 and slot 2 for MBA CT day 1 is done. So let's understand in details what happened in slot 1. Now if I talk about quant, high emphasis was given on topics like averages, ratios, percentages, which accounted for around 35 questions. ठीक है. Quant was considered as medium difficulty level, but the calculations were extremely lengthy and the options were pretty close, making it slightly difficult to interpret what could be the answer. As far as DI is concerned, data interpretation easy था, लेकिन थोड़ा सा calculation intensive था. तो if you're good with your tables, your fractions, percentages, your ratios, then it was easy. Otherwise, it was difficult. Now, as far as verbal ability is concerned, there were around 3 to 4 RCs. Yes, this is a quite bit of number of RCs. So there were 16 to 17 questions on RCs. The language was a bit tricky and it was time consuming because RCs ज़्यादा थे, तो 50% of the paper RCs और grammar से ही cover हो रहा था, तो थोड़ा lengthy हो रहा था. It also had emphasis on synonyms, antonyms, active and passive voice. However, there were no match the following questions, no verbal reasoning questions. There were also questions on time and distance, clocks, and so on. The biggest change in the slot 1 paper was that there was no critical reasoning, no assumptions, no conclusions, no inference, nothing at all. But that does not mean you cannot have critical reasoning in other set of papers. In slot 1, there was no critical reasoning. There were heavy emphasis given on input-output. There were multiple input-output questions. Family tree questions were pretty lengthy, and yes, a lot of family tree questions were asked. Abstract reasoning में there were questions on odd man out series and counting the figures. तो counting the figures भी 5-6 questions आए थे, तो काफ़ी questions थे. However, there were no questions on mirror images, water images or paper folding. So a good cutoff for slot 1 MBA CT for JBIMS अगर देखा जाए तो might go up to 150 to 155. So the feedback is it was slightly lengthy, but it was pretty much manageable. Calculation थोड़ा सा intensive paper था, तो if you're good with calculations, so pretty manageable, but yes, it was on the lengthier side. So this is it for slot 1. We'll discuss slot 2 also in the next video.